Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 803, and today's topic is the different important derivatives of sulfanilamide, and all those derivatives which I am going to discuss, they are all derived from sulfanilamide, and this sulfanilamide is the main nucleus. So first I have given the synthesis of sulfanilamide, and from that nucleus we will be getting sulfapyridine compound, then sulfagonidine, sulfadiazine and sulfathiazole. So all these derivatives which are very important, and all these sulfur drugs, commonly they are known as sulfur drugs, and they are very important. Mainly they are powerful antibacterial, and they can destroy and kill different type of bacteria, and also they are very important for skin disease, some skin fungal growth or skin problem, and especially this sulfanilamide is very important for vaginal fungal growth, fungal infection, especially when there is itching or burning or some other disorder, discharge or vaginal discharge, they are all can be controlled by sulfanilamide drug. So these drugs are still very important, and industrially we are producing all these different derivatives. So I am going to discuss one by one, and the first one is that is some important derivatives of sulfanilamide. Number one, sulfanilamide, that is also we can call it para-aminobenzene. Para-aminobenzene, this is your benzene nucleus, sulfanilamide. So that is your para-aminobenzene sulfanilamide, and this was it is a parent compound of all sulfur drugs, and it was first synthesized in the year 1908, and after the synthesis it was not having much importance, at least for 27 years. So only in 1935 it was discovered that this sulfanilamide is a powerful antibacterial drug, and also it is a powerful antifungal drug. So it is the parent compound of all sulfur drug. This is sulfanilamide, is the parent nucleus, parent compound of all your sulfur derivatives, and it was first prepared in the year 1908, but its therapeutic importance was noted only after 27 years by the scientist J. Trefort, and it was in 1935. Sulfanilamide may be prepared industrially from acetanilide. So this is acetanilide, and from this acetanilide industrially we can prepare the sulfanilamide in the following manner. So first acetanilide is taken, and it is treated with ClSO3H, and then it is converted into para and acetyl sulfanylyl chloride, and this sulfanylyl chloride is again treated with 10% ammonia at 50 degrees centigrade temperature. It will give you para and acetyl sulfanylyl amide. So this sulfanylyl amide is again treated with sodium hydroxide, and finally it is converted into sulfanilamide. And here in your square sulfanilamide structure is given, and its molecular formula is C6H8N2O2S. This sulfanilamide is white crystalline powder. It is highly soluble in water, but it is more soluble in alkaline medium, that is alkaline hydroxide, sulfanilamide possesses the great antibacterial properties and is very important to control of cocci infections such as pinococci. Pinococci means it is pneumonia, and streptococci. A large number of derivatives are used to treat against common bacterial infections, and also it is used to treat vaginal fungal infections that I have already told you, that itching, burning and unusual discharge vaginal, that can be very effectively treated by sulfonamide. So the second derivative of sulfanilamide is sulfapyridine, and this derivative is synthesized when the heterocyclic pyridine is treated with toluene in presence of NaH, and it is converted finally into sulfapyridine, and that is your number 2. Sulfapyridine, that is also known as N1. I have already given you in my first lecture the meaning of N1, because the first group NH2 SO, that is called your N1, 2 pyridyl sulfanilamide. So N12 pyridyl sulfanilamide is also called sulfapyridine, and it was also known as MNB693. It's you can say trade name. It was the first N1 heterocyclic. N1 heterocyclic means where one heteroatom nitrogen is the part of benzene ring, and once the nitrogen is the part of benzene ring, this heterocyclic compound is called pyridine. So it was the first heterocyclic N1 sulfanilamide to be introduced as a chemotherapeutic agent. So this heterocyclic with this pyridine nucleus, this was the first sulfanilamide derivative introduced, which was used as a chemotherapy, for chemotherapeutic agent to treat the different infections. It is more potent than sulfanilamide. Actually, this sulfapyridine with heterocyclic nucleus, that is pyridine, is more effective and more potent as compared to sulfanilamide. And it is very effective against pneumonia causing bacteria. It was also used in streptococci and meningococci infections, means that is against meningitis and also against pneumonia infections. It was first prepared by Evans and Phillips, but now this actually sulfapyridine and even sulfanilamide is overtaken by the antibiotic group, that is from fungal, that is fermented product, that is called penicillin group, because that one is less toxic as compared to these sulfanilamide and sulfapyridine drugs. So here I have given how to synthesize pyridine in presence of toluene plus NaNH2. When it is heated at 120 degrees centigrade, it is converted into 2-amino pyridine. This is your 2-amino, heteroatom is 1 and this is 2. So it is called 2-amino pyridine, and 2-amino pyridine is treated with N-acetyl sulfanylyl chloride. This N-acetyl sulfanylyl chloride, when it is treated with 2-amino pyridine, it is in alkaline hydrolysis, it is converted into this compound CH3CONH, SO2NH, and on hydrolysis, this compound gives that is sulfur pyridine, and with molecular formula C11 H11 N3 O2S, which is given in square. It is white crystalline powder. It is less soluble in cold water, but it is highly soluble in hot water, in acetone, ethyl alcohol, and some other organic solvents like your chloroform or ethyl acetate, all these. And it is also used to control lot of skin problem, skin diseases or fungal skin problem, that is called dermatitis. That is your actually skin problem. And these sulfur drugs, they are very powerful to treat the fungal skin problem. So I have given these two derivatives, but I will continue, and I will be giving some more sulfur drug derivatives, that is out of sulfanilamide, and they are sulfagonadine, and then sulfathiazole and sulfadiazine. These derivatives I will be taking in the next lecture, that is part 2. And these sulfur drugs nowadays still they are very much relevant, of course, for bacterial infections. Nowadays most of the treatments are done by antibiotics group of penicillin, but here's that is, I mean, there are two group of antibacterial now, one is that is penicillin group, that is prepared by fermentation technique, and the second group is called that is sulfur drug. So for sulfur drug nowadays is not in most of the cases used to treat bacterial infection like pneumonia, is mostly by antibiotics, not by sulfur drug. But most of the skin and fungal growth, skin problem, dermatitis, skin infection is still widely treated by sulfur drugs. So once again, thank you very much for watching the lecture.